Okay, over to Srinivas. Jai Srinaran.
Welcome everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, today what I'm
Please unmute yourself.
okay. I think now it's clear, right? Yeah. The plan for today is like whatever we learned yesterday, just we do a quick recap of that, and then we go to the next topics, whatever are there um, in line. Basically, I say quiver. Did you ever hear that word quiver? Quiver. Quiver means basically that is in Telugu we say amulapodi, like where you keep your arrows. That is called quiver. Okay, somehow I came to know that word. Like someone gave that information some time back. So I use that very frequently because when you want to speak on something, I think this is everyone's problem. Basically, when you start speaking something, you just go to some other direction and then totally forget whatever, I mean, for what reason you started that talk. You forget and go somewhere else. So again, it's ability of a person, like, when you listen lectures of many, scholars, usually they tell some stories and they take you to a different plane and again come back to the same plane wherever they started. So that is very important. Otherwise, I mean, we lose somewhere and, we start something and do something else. So now actually, let me share my presentation and then I will go forward. Okay.
So now you need to turn off that annotations, Srinivas.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, please. Thank you.
So, yeah, let me start with this binary system and Boolean algebra. Just a little bit about that. I think many of you know binary system and Boolean algebra, so I'm not again telling that information here. And the next thing is conversion. Someone asked, like, they didn't get it, how to do the conversion from binary to octal and binary to hexadecimal. So just we'll quickly see this. When you take the number 2, that is for binary, we use 2 digits. So that is nothing but 2 power 1. Whereas if you take, okay, let me do this part first. Yes. Now I think we should not have any issues there. Okay, let me erase this. Okay, let's see that later. Now coming to 8. This is 2 cube. 2 cube means actually we have exponent 3. And similarly, 2 power 4 is 16. So basically that exponent, whatever is there, that decides how many digits you need to group up. Okay, if you see this particular next example here, we took 97, we converted that to binary. This is what you have, 1100001. Basically, if someone gives this binary number and asks you to convert that to octal system. So in that case, actually, whatever we learned during our school days is converting this binary number to decimal number, and then again converting this decimal number to octal number. which is actually a very complex process and a time-taking process. Because when you convert this binary number to decimal, you need to write 1s, 2s, 4s, 8s, 16s, 32s, and 64s. So 64 times 1 and 32 times 1, these two gives 64 and 32 respectively. And then if you take these four, whatever may be the corresponding multiple here, you're multiplying by 0, so you always get zeros here. And then last one is 1 and 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So now we have 64 plus 32, which is 96 plus 197. That's what you got. And after getting this, you need to divide this by 8 to get a quotient and remainder. And again, divide the number, whatever the resulting number by 8 again. So we keep on doing the same process and then get the octal number there. So which may take a little bit more time. But of course, I gave only 7-digit number here. But suppose if you have 16 digits or 20 digits or more than that, it takes a longer duration to convert that to a decimal and then converting back to octal. So for that, because our power, that exponent is 3, we need to group up 3 digits at a time from right to left. So if you do that here, we have 1, 0, 0, that is first thing, and the other one is 0, 0, 1, that is second group, and then there is one remaining, so that is third group. We have 3 groups here. So for each group, we need to convert that to decimal. That is simple, right? So now if you convert this to decimal, it becomes 1, right? So 1 times 1, and these two actually becomes 0, 2 and 4. So you get 1. So that 1 we put it here. And then if you take the second group, we have 1s, 2s, and 4s. So 1s and 2s, that becomes 0. Anyway, we're multiplying by 0. And then 4 times 1 is 4. So that 4 we put it here. And then if you take the last one, we have 1. So there's nothing much to do. Say 1 times 1 is 1. So we put there. So always remember, in decimal system, we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, like that. In binary system, we have ones, twos, 2 squares, 2 cubes, like that. So ones, twos, fours, 8s, and then 16s, 32s, like that. And similarly, if you take octal system, it's like 1s, 8s, 64s, and then 64 times 8. What do you get? 512, right? 512, and it goes on that way. So if you take this particular number 141, if you convert this to decimal, what happens? We need to write 1s, 8s, and then 64s. So 64 times 1 is 64, and 8 times 4 is 32. So 64 plus 32 plus 1 times 1 is 1. So it becomes 97, which is equal to, which is in decimal system equal to 97. So that is how we can convert from one system to another system. Similarly, for hexadecimal system, we have only 10 digits in decimal system, 0 to 9. So we need to have 16 digits for this. How do we get 16 digits? So we use A, B, C, D, E, F. If you see the calculator, you'll have those alphabets, A, B, A to F. And then only when you select hexadecimal, those keys will be active. If you take any Casio or any calculator. So when you change it to hexadecimal mode, and then when you do calculations like addition, subtractions, you can do all that. And then converting a decimal number into hexadecimal. Take a decimal number, say for example, in this case, 225 we took. And then when you when you change it to hexadecimal, you get even. You can verify that at home. Okay, you can take any decimal number, convert to hexadecimal, and see how it works. So if you take 225, the binary number is 111000001. This is the one you get. So if they give the binary number and ask you to find hexadecimal number, you need not actually convert that to decimal and then converting back to hexadecimal, which is long process. Simply 16 is nothing but 2 power 4. The exponent is 4. So group up 4 digits at a time here. So 1000 up to here, 4 digits, and then 1110, that is second set of digits. So now if you take this here, we have 0, 0, 0. So 2s, 4s, and 8s, those are all 0. They don't actually, produce anything there. And 1 times 1 is 1. So simply we can put 1 here. But if you take the second group, we have 1s, 2s, 4s, 8s. So we have 8s, 4s, and 2s. So 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 means E. Okay, so that is how we can write this is even, this is equal to even. So when you convert back, we need to write 1s and 16s. So 16 times 14 plus 1 times 1. So 16 times 14, how do we do that? 16 times 14. Can you guess how much it is? So if you remember yesterday's session, 16 times 14, it falls under Ekadikena Purvena. 1, 6, 1, 4, right? 6 plus 4 is 10, and 1 is common. So we can apply that rule. So you get 224 plus 1, 225. Is that clear to everyone?
If a couple of them
Okay.
show thumbs up, then at least we'll be knowing it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let me, oh, sorry, not let me do this.
But I think something you said 16 times 14, 225, something you said it may not be right?
225 is not correct.
Yeah.
Okay, here actually that multiplication can be done in multiple ways. I'll tell you how we can do it. That is the advantage with Vedic mathematics. If you take regular mathematics, you have only one way of doing it. But whereas if you take Vedic mathematics, you can use it in multiple ways. You can get the solution. You can get the solution in multiple ways. Let me tell you how you can do it. See, in this particular case, we have even. E means actually nothing but 14. The value is 14. Okay, times. I need to write 16 because 1s and 16s. The base value is 16 here. So 14 times 16 plus 1 times 1. So that is what we need to figure out. So when you do this 16 times 14, we use Ekadikena Purvena. Because if you take 14 and 16, the tens place is same and units place adds up to 10. So we can apply that rule. So the left part is 1. So 1 times the next number is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. And then 6 times 4 is 24. So 224. And then plus 1 times 1 is 1. So 225. That's what you get. So that is what your decimal value. Okay, for this one, you can use average method also. Average method means basically 14 can be written as 15 minus 1 and 16 can be written as 15 plus 1. That is what we learn in algebra, like a plus b times a minus b. So the solution is going to be a square minus b square, which is nothing but 15 square minus 1 square. 15 square actually, there is an easy way using Ekadikena Purvena. Whenever the number is ending with 5, and if you want to find a square of the number, simply take the previous part, like, in 15, actually 5 is the ending part. Excluding 5, we have 1. 1 times the next number is 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then we have 5 square is 25. So 225, that's what you get. Okay, similarly, suppose if you want 85 square. 85 square. Okay, let me show it here. I think you can see that, right? Whatever I'm typing, Satishji?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If the font size is good, that's fine. Otherwise, I can increase it, do something. Okay, now if you want 85 square, 85 times 85. How do we do this? In this also, if you take 5 plus 5 is 10, units place, it adds up to 10. And then tens place is same. So what we need to do is 8 times next number, which is 9. 8 times 9 is 72, right? 72. And then 5 times 5 is 25. You always get 25 because it's ending with 5. So this is your square of that number, 85 square. 85 times 85 is 7,225. So I use that technique for 15 square, it's 225. And then plus minus 1 because you know, it's a square minus b square, that formula, or we can say 15 square minus 1 square. That's what we said, right? So that comes to 224. Again, we are adding up this one, so it becomes 225. So that negative 1, I mean, if you write it down for this one, you know, 14 times 16 plus 1 times 1, which is equal to, you can write 225 minus 1 and then plus 1. You can ignore plus 1 and minus 1, they get cancelled and you get 225. Okay, this 225 minus 1, this is our 14 times 16 product. So that is how we do it. So hope that helps. Okay, now let's see what we can do with
I think we can switch over to our new topics for today, right?
yeah. I think that is more a lot more things actually. Okay, this one actually yesterday we discussed about this. How can we say Vedic mathematics is multidimensional? If you take this one, yesterday we learned this, right? 63 times 67. This is using Ekadikil Purvena. Currently also we used one example. So this is the things, conditions. Actually, I'm telling one more time to remember. The sum of the digits in units place should be equal to 10, and then rest of the number is same. Okay, if you see here 3 plus 7 is 10, and then 6 is same in both the numbers. So when you do this kind of multiplication, simply 3 times 7 is 21 units place, and then 10 plus 6 times the next digit, next number is 7. 6 times 7, 42. So the answer is going to be 4,221. Simple. Okay, suppose if you get a multiplication like this, what is the product of 91 times 99? Here also 9 plus 1 is 10. First condition is satisfied. Second condition, 9 is same in both the scenarios. So simply we can apply this particular rule. And then when you multiply 9 times 1, you get 9. But we need to fill 2 places. So we need to put 0, 9. That is what is more important in this case. So the rest of the part is like same. 9 times next number, 9 times 10 is 90. So the answer is going to be 9009, 9009. So that is your answer. So this is one way. Suppose if you take the other one, 93 times 97. Okay. Okay. This one, I think, shall we do this or shall I skip this? There are some questions actually I framed based on, you know, this particular sutra.
Kids are also interested in 2 distinct numbers without having that sum of the numbers to 10, all that. So they are
distinct
looking for the
numbers.
vertically crosswise the formula they are looking for it now.
Okay. Then it's good. Okay, I'll skip these things then.
So these are all going to be there in our presentation for them to look back, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah,
so this number, this particular multiplication, can someone tell me the answer quickly? You can key in your chat box.
Without using calculators, do not use anything and just tell the answer for that.
Okay, the answer is going to be 990024. 990024.
Correct.
Okay, so you can verify it. Let's go with the next thing. Okay, these are all same kind. If you take this one, this is the other one yesterday I told, like the reverse way. Like tens place, if they add up to 10, and then units place digit is same. In that case, what we need to do, sum of the digits in tens place should be equal to 10. That is first condition. Second condition, rest of the number is same. So if those 2 conditions are satisfied, the solution is going to be first multiply units place, and you can put that value here directly. Okay, that fills units place and tens place. And then coming to the hundreds place and thousands place, take 3 times 7. You need to multiply the tens place digits and then add the units place digit. So 3 times 7 is 21 plus 6, 27. So you get the answer 2736. That is your answer. Okay, this is the other dimension.
So
As
this
I told.
rule you will apply it only when you have same
Yeah.
number in the first place.
Yeah, these are the conditions we need to always look for. Some of the digits in tens place should be equal to 10, and then rest of the number is same. Rest of the number means basically you need to have the same number in units place. So that is what. Okay, let's see one more example here. 19 times 99. Here the first condition is some of the digits in tens place is equal to 10. So that condition is satisfied. Second condition is units place, it's having 9. Both the numbers are having 9. So that condition also satisfied. Now coming to the solution, simply units place you need to multiply and put 81 units in tens place, and then multiply tens places, tens place digits. 1 times 9 is 9, and then add the units place, which is 9 again. So 9 plus 9, 18. So the answer is going to be 1881. So that is the answer. Okay, so simple, but you need to practice. Otherwise, they may be confusing. Okay, there are some more questions here. Probably we'll skip these things. You can try it later when we send this PowerPoint, maybe. Or maybe we can send these slides only with the questions. Let's see. Now coming to the other thing. Yesterday we discussed about these things. I showed how to solve these things first for the first two questions. You can try the other ones like that. Okay, and then if you see the 67 times 47, we know the base one, whatever we learned. Tens place digits adds up to 10 and units place is same. For that, we can have an extension like this. You can have numbers like this and you can do that. Okay, now coming to Nikilam Navataha Charmam Dasta. This one also is very, very easy. And then suppose if you have this kind of subtraction, can someone tell me the answer quickly without using paper pencil? All from 9, last from 10, simple. Yeah, I think some of you answered. I mean, it doesn't require more time.
Answer 2144.
2144, that's correct. 2144. Because 9 minus 7 is 2, 9 minus 8 is 1, 9 minus 5 is 4, and then 10 minus 6 is 4. Last one from 10. So 10 minus 6 is 4. So that's what you get. Perfect. So next, coming to this one. Suppose if you have a question like this. Okay, this is a similar kind of one. Here also you can tell by looking at the number. You get 7, 8, 2, 0, 4, 8. Okay, you can verify your answer. So this is what you get. 782048. Okay, next we'll see one more example and then skip to the next topic. So suppose if you have a subtraction like this, then we need not actually worry about it. Here we don't have any 2 digits we need to have here, right? So you can put 0, 0. Then all from 9, last from 10. When you do that, you get 9 minus 0, 9, 9 minus 0, 9. You get 2 9s in the beginning, and then you can do the rest as usual. 9 minus 1 is 8, 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 3 is 6, and then 10 minus 8 is 2. So that is how you get the answer. Okay, now let's see general subtractions. This one actually yesterday we practiced some, so I think I can skip this part. Now coming to this multiplication also yesterday I covered, but let me tell one more time this one. This is very useful way. So whenever you have a number multiplied by 9 series, so the number of digits here and here are same. Okay, if the digit here, the number here is having less number of digits or more number of digits, those are different scenarios. I think when we work deep into that particular sutra, we can use it. But otherwise, if the number is only having 3 digits here, okay, then you can imagine 3 zeros here. and you do that. But if this number is having more digits and less number of nines, then it's a different process, okay, altogether. Okay, now let's see. The solution is like using Nikilam Navataha Charmam Dastaha, all from 9, last from 10. We can write the answer. So simple. First step is you need to subtract 1 from this number and write down. And then second step is take Nikilam Navataha Charmam Dastaha from this. So you get 451,266. Or other way, subtract all these digits from 9 and you can put it. Simple. Either way you can adopt. Now let's see. This is the one actually every one of you are looking for. This is a generic method. So here we need not look for any conditions, any patterns or anything like that. So this can be used for any set of numbers. Only thing, if the one is 3-digit number, the other is 2-digit number, then you need to know how to use it. Okay, that part actually, it's a kind of advanced topic a little bit. So let's see equal number of digits for the time being. So suppose if you have a 2-digit number multiplied by 2-digit number, which is 43 times 65. Here we have 3 steps to solve it. The first step is 5 times 3, multiplying 5 times 3 units places. The second step is multiplying crosswise 4 times 5 and 6 times 3 and then add them up. And third step is multiplying vertically the tens place digits. So 6 times 4, 24. So we got, this is the primary product. But now we need to see. So when you multiply these two, you need to use only 1 digit here, not 2 digits in units place. So we drop 5 and this 1 goes as carry. So that becomes 39. Okay, that is next step. And then we can write 5 and we can write 9 here, but that 3 goes as carry. So when you add that carry, it becomes 27. So 2795 is the answer. Okay, I showed you this many steps here to understand, but I know once you get used to it, you need not write all these steps. You can write in single step. Okay, that requires a little bit practice, and you need to verify your answers all the time. That is my suggestion. So because you learned this sutra, if you use this sutra, you need to verify using regular way or whatever way you know. And then, once the answer matches, at least for 2-3 months, if you practice that way, then you get confidence and you can use the formula directly. But don't use this formula directly in your exams or any class homework or anything like that, because there is a possibility that you make mistakes there, and then you may get less score and all that. So which I don't want. So always verify your answer using regular school methods or whatever way you know. And then once the answer tallies, then you are confident you are doing it correct. Otherwise, there is a possibility that you may make mistakes here and there. Okay, I think I'm clear on that. Yeah.
I wanted them to get more of understanding on the sutra. Because yesterday we did the 2 sutras, right? Today this is the new sutra. So I want them to cherish that Vedic sutra names. So this is the 3rd sutra, Urdhva Tiryabhyam. So Urdhva means upward, which is vertical. Tiryabhyam means going crosswise. So those are the words of the sutra. The sutras are very powerful just with 2 words. Like yesterday we had Ekadikena Purvena Nikhilam Navataha. So they need to remember these sutras. Maybe I just thought probably give them the meaning of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for reminding me. Usually I tell that, but somehow today I missed that part.
No problem.
Yeah, we can extend this to 3 digit by 3 digit, and similarly 4 digit by 4 digit, 5 digit by 5 digit. We are going to, I can demonstrate some of them, once we complete, this session. Now coming to, 3 digit by 3 digit multiplication. How do we proceed? Okay, first I suggest all of you to try 2 digit by 2 digit. And then you can, once you're comfortable, then we can, do three digit by 3 digit or 4 digit by 4 digit, you can expand it. But don't directly try 3 digit by 3 digit. Okay, that's my suggestion. Yeah, this is, I'm explaining this because we need to know how we can expand this in multi-direction. That is the idea. So that's why I'm explaining this here. The first step is multiply vertically. Okay. And then second step is multiplying crosswise like this. Okay, here we are not considering the third, hundreds place digits. Only we are taking units and tens place. The first step, actually, we did use only units places. The second step, we added tens place also, and then we did crosswise, and then we put the answer here. When you go to third step, here we are using crosswise like that. The second step is like that, multiplying 2 times 5, and then multiplying 3 times 8. So multiply all those three products, you get all those three products and add up to get your value here, 62. Because 3 times 8 is 24, and then 4 times 7 is 28. So 24 plus 28, how much? 52. And then 5 times 2 is 10, 62. Okay, that is how you get it. And then next step is we ignore units place and we take only these two. Okay, and then we do cross multiplication like that. So 3 times 5 is 15, and then 4 times 2 is 8. 15 plus 8 is 23. That's what you get. And then last one is we take only hundreds place, which is vertical again. So you get 12. Now after this, we know I'm putting these bars like this to separate the product, whatever we get for each place. So it's supposed to be units place. 56, this is units place, this is tens place, this is hundreds place, thousands place, and 10,000s place, like that. Okay, so that's why for every place you can have only one digit, you cannot have two digits. So we are dropping 6, and then 5 is carried out to the next place. And then here it becomes 56, we drop 6, and then 5 goes as carry, and it becomes 67. We drop 7, and then the 6 is going to be carry. It becomes 29. 9 we drop, and then 2 becomes 2 goes as carry, so it becomes 14, like that. So that is your answer. 6, we dropped 6, and then 51 plus 5, 56. We dropped 6, and then 5 carry. It becomes 67. 7 we dropped, and then 6 carry. It becomes 29. 9 we dropped, and then 2 carry. 2 plus 12, which is 14. So that is how you get the answer. So I hope you got it. Okay, now let's see. This is another dimension. Because so far we did only
Can you give
2 number
that for them, Srinivas?
What?
Can you give a problem on that for them, the 3-digit number problem?
3-digit number, no, I don't want to, because they need to practice 2-digit number multiplication first. Unless they are confident about it, I don't suggest working for 3-digit by 3-digit. Okay, they need to, if they want, I can give 2-digit by 2-digit multiplications.
Yeah, maybe just a couple of them, and maybe the 3-digit also give it to them. So if they want, they can try it.
Okay.
At least give them some more advantage of working on it.
Oh, okay. I think I didn't copy those ones, but we can try this. 57 times 34. 57 times 34.
Okay, guys, children, adults, everybody, can you try that? 57 times 34. Somebody already gave the answer. Okay. 1938. Yeah, answers are coming in. Pretty good. Good.
Okay, let's see. Let me write it here. Yeah, 1938. Did you get it? Is that correct? 1938.
Yeah, I think.
See, the specialty there is 19 times 2 is 38. I just gave random numbers, but it came out a special number there. Okay.
What is the specialty of that number?
1938, right? 19 times 2, 38.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, earlier also we got some number like palindrome, 1881 or something like that, right?
Correct.
So yeah, sometimes they pop up like that. So
do you have a name for this number?
Which one?
A number where you have number and its two's number in the next to it. Do you have a number
No,
like
no,
that?
I don't know any specific name for that. But it helps actually, I remember one of my, rank digit, rank number actually, whatever I got during my college days. I remember based on this. I got 3,248. I remember like 16 times 2, 16 times 3, like that. So yeah, sometimes it's very easy to remember. We used to have a car number plate like this. 3XSD927. This is the number plate we used to have. And then for remembering it, I simply used a technique like 3, X means times, 3 times, SD means single digit, 9. 3 times 9 is 27. Did you get it? 3 times SD means single digit. 3 times single digit 9 is equal to 27. So 3x SD 927, like that. So I mean, like whenever you see numbers, you get some other relation. Basically, when you practice more, I think you get used to it, and we get this kind of concepts. Okay, they did one question. If they want, we can continue. But yeah, let me proceed. I think we have some more areas where I think they are going to do this anyway. So yeah, if you take this one, this is another dimension. This is another dimension we can think of, like 46, 37, 72. We are multiplying 3 numbers. So usually, I mean, like in regular way, we multiply 46 times 37, and whatever answer you get, you multiply that by 72. We have multiple steps there. But using Vedic methods, we can do in single step. A single step means basically it's a little bit complex because, for the first timers or, first time when you practice, it looks a little complex and laborious. But when you get used to it, it's much, much easier compared to regular ways, okay? These are the steps actually for 4 steps. The first step, simply we multiply 6 times 7 times 2. Okay, if you don't get it, don't worry about it because these are all too advanced. Actually, I didn't explain this so far in my Vedic math classes. This is the first time actually I'm explaining this part because, students, whoever attend, they should be ready for accepting and understanding those techniques. So if they practice 2 by 2 multiplication, then they can go for it. Directly never try these things unless you get confidence with 2 digit by 2 digit multiplication. And then you can extend it to 3 digit by 3 digit, 4 digit by 4 digit. And similarly, you can multiply 3 and then you can multiply 4 numbers, 5 numbers. You can choose whatever you want, but when the order increases, the complexity also increases a little bit. But once you get used to it, once you try to remember certain numbers without using paper pencil, then I think you can go for 5 digit by 5 digit by 5 digit number multiplication like that. So yeah, but practice is more important. Now coming to this, the first step is multiply vertically.
Srinivas?
What?
Somebody send some message. Can you just check it up, please?
You want me to? I didn't get it.
Check your chart.
Okay. I think I need to quit this, I think, right? Okay. So can you read it out or something?
No, actually the slides, whatever you're showing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to share it with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can share it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but I didn't see in that the drive link you gave.
No,
me.
I didn't put it there yet. I didn't
Okay.
put it
So
there.
you're going to put it later to now?
Yeah, probably can do that.
Yeah, please. Thank
Yeah,
you.
actually, I didn't, use these other names and all that, but textbook information and all that. Actually, I couldn't put there
At
because
least
of
this
other.
PPT, you're going to add it into the drive. This PPT.
Yeah, PPT, or maybe I can add the slides, required slides. I think
No, this whole thing
PPT.
as it is, they can just read through because that's what they're asking you for instead of noting it down.
Yeah, they can view. I mean, as long as they view it, that's fine. But
Yeah.
don't edit and share it with others. I said
Yeah.
because it's one way it's good, because if you share it without understanding, if they try to use these techniques, I think they are going to be in trouble. Because if they make mistakes and later if they blame me, I'm not going to be responsible for that. So that's why I mean, like, if they at least learn certain things and then they can practice on their own, it's not a problem. And of course, this information is available in when you search in Google, you can find lots of resources for that. But I request everyone, like, because you attended the session, you can go through those PowerPoint slides, not a problem, but don't share it with others who didn't attend the program. Because,
Good thanks.
yeah, I think they got it, I guess. Even if they want to share it, I mean, I'm not going to be responsible for if something goes wrong, okay? Yeah, I want to be very clear on that.
Yeah, they're saying, please send us, we are going to use it. That's what they're telling us. Okay.
Yeah, then it's fine. Okay, 7, 6, 42, and then times 2, 84. Okay, that is the first step. Vertical, this is vertical multiplication. And then next step is we take two numbers, 2 units place numbers and 1 tens place number, and then multiply like that, whatever combinations we have. In this case, 4 times 7 times 2, and then 3 times 6 times 2, and then 7 times 7 times 6. So we need to multiply all those three and then add up. So that is the second step. 4 times 7 times 2. See, 4, this is tens place in first number, and then units place in second number and units place in third number. 4 times 7 times 2 plus 3 times 6 times 2. 3 times 6 times 2. And then third one is 7 times 7 times 6. Okay, we take tens place in the last one and then units place in first two. So that is what you get, and you get 386. Okay, and third step is you take only one digit in this units place and 2 digits in tens place. So that becomes 4 times 3 times 2, and then 4 times 7 times 7, and then 3 times 7 times 6, like that. So that's what I wrote it here, right? 4 times 3 times 2, 4 times 3 times 2. That is first one. And then 3 times 7 times 7. You can write 3 times 7, sorry, 3 times 7 times 6. 3 times 7 times 6. And then if you take these two, 4 times 7 times 7. 4 times 7 times 7, which is 346. And then last one is again multiplying vertically, 4 times 3 times 7, which is again coming to 84. So now, after getting these values, just write down like this: 84, 346, 386, 84. Okay, the sequence is very important here. You cannot just put as you want. The first one is 84. Here we multiplied vertically. The second step is 386, where we took 2 digits here and 1 digit here. That came to 386. Okay, third step is taking 2 digits here and 1 digit here. That way we got 346. That is third step. And then fourth step, we multiplied all the 3, which is 84 again. So remember, first 3 digits multiply, Second time we take 2 digits here and 1 digit from tens place. Third step is we take 1 digit here and 2 digits here. And then the last step is multiplying all the 3. So basically we are going from 3 to 1, 1 to 0, like that here. If you take first, we multiplying 3, and then we are multiplying only 2 of them. And third one is we are multiplying only 1 of them. And last one, anyway, we are actually switching to tens place. So that is how we got 4 different values here. So after getting that, as I said, like, we drop 4 and 8 goes as carry. So we add that 8 to this number. So it becomes 394. That is, I mean, for understanding, I gave so many steps, but otherwise it's not required as such. And then if you take this, we dropped 4 already, and another 4 actually we got here. And then 39 goes as carry. So add that 39 to this. It becomes 385. Now drop 5 here, and then 38 goes as carry. And then add that, you get 122. So answer is 122544. Okay, you can verify it if you want using calculator, or you can do it manually, whatever, but you can verify it. Okay. Yeah, that is another dimension which I'm disclosing first time. Disclosing means basically, it's not like that, but I never actually taught this in my classes so far, because the students should be ready to grasp this. So yeah, that is the reason. Now coming to how we can extend this to algebra, geometry, and other areas. Let's see. In algebra also we can use this. Actually, in this case, I gave 4x plus 3 times 6x plus 5. I just gave a very simple example. Here actually it's like 2 digit by 2 digit multiplication. Okay, so we use the same steps as before. Okay, up to this, I think you all know what we did, right? 43 times 65, we multiplied 3 times 5, 15, first step. Second step, crosswise, 4 times 5 is 20, 6 times 3 is 18, so you got 38. And then third step is multiplying 4 times 6, which is 24. So now, because this is algebra and we are using the coefficients of each expression, the 4 is here is x coefficient, right? So I wrote x above that. And similarly, 6x plus 5, x coefficient is 6. So I put that 6 here. And then coming to constant, I put c here, constant, and 3 and 5 came here. So now after this, we know how to multiply, and we got this. But only difference is, like, if it is arithmetic multiplication, we just drop 5 and use this one as carry and then do things. Here we need not do that. We can simply put this is constant, because we are multiplying constant by constant to get constant. The second step, we are doing crosswise, which is x coefficient, because when you multiply constant with x, you get x, and similarly the other way. So 38 is x coefficient. And then if you take the last one, we are multiplying x coefficient by another x coefficient. So it becomes x square coefficient, which is 24. So the answer is going to be this. You can verify it if you want. Or in regular way, what we do is, like, 4x times 6x, we get 24x square. The second step, 4x times 5, which is 20x, and 3 times 6x, 18x, and then 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, the same things actually we are doing. This is nothing great as such for 2 by 2 multiplication. But whereas if the polynomial degree increases, like, if you have 3rd degree or 4th degree, then the complexity you can see in regular way. And if you take, Vedic methods, it's going to be much easier. You get number of, limited number of steps, and then you get the answer directly. But in regular way, you have x square terms in multiple locations. So you need to add them up. And then if you miss one of them, I think you're going to get wrong answer. So that way, I mean, we can eliminate some complexity there. You can, probably I can show that, at later point of time. I didn't get any example for that, but it's better to practice, with 2 by 2 initially. So suppose if I take fifth power or fifth degree expressions, then we will have a fifth degree, fourth degree, third degree, second degree, first degree, and we have 6 digits and another 6 digits. It's going to be complex multiplication. So that's why I didn't bring it here. But as you learn and as you proceed, you can do 6 digit by 6 digit multiplication is not that difficult. We can do it. So then you can see the difference and how easy it is going to be using Vedic mathematics. Okay. And then this is another example. 5x plus 7 times 3x plus 4. If you do this multiplication regular way, this is what we do. 5x times 3x plus 4 plus 7 times 3x plus 4 using distributive law. So when you do this, we get 4 different terms, and then x terms actually we add up to get 41x, and then x squared term and constant. So the same thing we can achieve using vertical and crosswise. See, if you do this vertical and crosswise like this, 5 times 3, 15, we got x square quotient, and 7 times 4, 28, which is we got constant. And when you cross multiply, like 5 times 4 and 3 times 7, we get the same 41, which is going to be your x quotient. So that is how, we can use it. And probably, if you want, you can try. This is the same one, right? 3x plus 4. Okay, let's try this. Can you try and provide an answer? Seven x plus 4 times 2x plus 5. Okay, the answer is going to be 7 2s are 14, right? 14x square. And then we take extremes, 7 times 5, which is 35, and 4 times 2 is 8. So 35 plus 8, 43. So 43x and then 20. So that is going to be your answer. Okay. So we can try some of these, or you can frame your own questions and you can do it. So let's do this one and then skip to the next thing. 7x plus 11 times 4x plus 9. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is what is the question, right? So 7 times 4, 28, right? 28 x square. And then when you multiply extremes, 7 times 9 is 63. And then 11 times 4, 44. 63 plus 44, you get 107x. And then 11 times 9 is 99. So that's what you get. Okay, let's skip these things. And then how do we use the same thing in geometry? Vertical and crosswise. Here actually in geometry, I think many of you know how to write the line equation when 2 points are given, 2 extreme points are given. So in this particular example, I took 4, 3 and 6, 5, 2 different points. And then we are framing line equation. I think if there are elementary students and who doesn't know geometry, just listen. If you, I think it may be hard for you to understand this because you don't know about geometry, but you can try to listen. That's all. Okay, and middle and high school students probably can understand what I'm saying here. And then after this, we are going to have some fun stuff as well. So yeah, just be a little patient with me. Coming to this, we have 4, 3 and 6, 5. I wrote those 2 points here, 4, 3, 6, 5. the same order. Okay, you should not change order. You can have the same order, or you can have 6, 5, 4, 3. That is also okay. It really doesn't matter that way. But when you do the operations, you should follow the same thing. Like, as I said earlier, like, subtraction 4 minus 6 is negative. So if I put 6 minus 4, 2, then it may not work. Okay, so you need to follow the same order. Now coming to our solution, line equation. In regular way, we use this formula y minus y1 by y1 minus y2 equal to x minus x1 by x1 minus x2. And then we substitute values for x1, y1, x2, y2. This is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So based on that, we frame the equation. But using, these Vedic methods, we can do it very simple. I wrote those 2 points here, and then 4 minus 6, which is negative 2, and then put y. This is y coefficient. Okay, minus 2y is equal to 3 minus 5, which is negative 2. So negative 2x. Okay, plus here we need to do the cross multiplication and find it. So always you need to follow the same thing, like 4 times 5 minus 6 times 3. Always 4 times 5, 6 minus 3. If you do 6 times 3 minus 4 times 5, that is going to be wrong. So we need to always multiply 4 times 5 first and then subtract 6 minus 3. Because here we are subtracting, not simply adding. Okay. If you are simply adding, then it doesn't matter, like, in what order you do it. But here we are subtracting, so the sign changes in case if you do it in a reverse, in an odd way. So 4 times 5 is 20 minus 6 times 3, 18, which is 2. So now the equation becomes minus 2y equal to minus 2x plus 2. So we have 2 all the way, so we can divide everything by 2. Then it becomes minus y equal to minus x plus 1. Or when you multiply everything by negative 1, this becomes y equal to x minus 1. That is the equation. Okay, let me see. Did you chat? Let's see. Looks like, Satishji, Satishji, can you see? I think someone raised hand and.
Okay. Yeah, someone raised hand. Please text me here. I'll ask the question on behalf of you. Riddhi, please put your message here. I'm going to. And some people are asking about the class when is over. I think, please understand, it is started at 7:30 of American Central Standard Time. It will be finishing up 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. India time start at 7 a.m. It will be finishing around 8:30 a.m. in the morning, India. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we are extending half an hour more so that, I can say some things, in detail. But we are going to send a survey, I think, after this poll.
Yes,
so if you are interested to learn more and more about these topics in detail, probably, we can see like how we can handle it down the line. So yeah, please feel free to give us your feedback, valuable feedback. Okay. Yeah, let's see. This is very simple, right? So I don't want to spend much time on this, but I wanted to show like, how we can use it in different areas. So that's why I showed this. This is another example. The same way you can try. If you want to note down, you can note down the points 3, 13, 5, 7. So this is kind of a irregular way. We write x1, y1, x2, y2, and then do all this. So the equation what we got here is 3x plus y equal to 22. Okay. Using Vedic method, the same thing can be done in this way. Like 313, I wrote 313, and then 5, 7, the second point. And then when you do the subtraction, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So negative 2y. And then here 13 minus 7, which is 6. So 6x. This is positive. Plus, we need to do cross multiplication, as I said, like 3 times 7 first, which is 21, minus 5 times 13, which is 65. So 21 minus 65. So you get a negative value here. Okay. So you got 44. Now, so actually, I gave this, like, what do you call? I gave actually, after bringing all the terms to one side and I made it the final solution here. But otherwise, what you get is minus 2y equal to 6x minus 44. So when you bring this 44, negative 44 to the other side, it becomes positive. And this negative 2y, when you bring to this side, it becomes 6x plus 2y equal to 44. This is the equation you get. Okay, I didn't write each and every step there, but when you simplify it, you'll get this way. And then here you can divide everything by 2. So divide everything by 2, you get 3x plus y equal to 22, which is what we got in previous regular way. Okay, so that is how we can do. But practice questions, I think, I gave some questions like this, 3, 13, 5, 7. We can use the vertical and crosswise and we can get the solution like that. And then this is another one. Let me skip all these things. Okay. Before concluding, actually, I wanted to tell something about Sanghamitra. And this is a Kartik month, right? I think most of you know this. So I just wanted to tell you something which is very valuable. So just I wanted to say. Actually, I know in regular summer program, I usually give questions like this. How many 3-digit numbers can you frame in such a way? Hundreds place is greater than tens place, and tens place is greater than units place. I mean, tens place means tens place number, basically, the digit is greater than units place. I mean, the tens place digit is greater than units place digit, and then hundreds place digit is greater than tens place digit, like that. So this is one question. And okay. I wanted to tell a little bit about Sanghamitra. The first thing, actually, I chose Mahatma Gandhi's quote, like, you should be the change that you wanted to see in the world. This is the inspiration for me to start Sanghamitra and Srinivasa Ramanujan Math Club. And, the other things, whatever I'm doing till today, I think I say thank you to Mahatma Gandhi ji for his nice quote. And then this is basically, if thought, word, and action, if they are in sync, I think we can do anything and everything without much difficulty. That's what I believe in. That is called Trikarana Shuddhi. Trikaranas means like, thought, word, and action. Okay. So this is one thing I wanted to say. And the other thing is, again, Mahatma Gandhi's quote, like, there is sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed. So this is another thing we should remember during this holiday season or winter time. And then many people are actually, starving. And then some people are having excess food and, they're just throwing it away. Things are happening like that. But, if you can share it with others, that is going to be ultimate thing we can do. So this is what I say, sharing. And these are all actually, the foundation for Sanghamitra. These are all things actually I thought, might help, others as well. So next thing is actually, this is what we all always feel like. If we get hurt in a leg or hand or something gets hurt, our eyes actually, feel it, basically get tears from your eyes. So that means actually there is some connection. Some other part gets hurt, your eyes are actually, responding to that. So why can't we do that in our society? Like, if our neighbor is having some problem, we can share our, resources, like, it may be physical, or it may be, money point of view, or it may be something else. And then even sometimes even the word, the giving confidence, that also might matter. So this is what I call caring. So sharing, caring, and then this is what the third one. Mother's love is actually, we cannot compare it with any other love. Basically nowadays, love means actually, they're using in a different perspectives. But love means the pure love, which actually doesn't expect anything in return. That is called love. And mother's love is ultimate thing which we can, experience in our lifetime. So this is what I say, love. Uh, and then all these characteristics are the things are actually foundation for Sanghamitra. And then Sanghamitra means, I mean, like that organization I started in 2004. And then I started online magazine for in English and Telugu. I started in Telugu initially, and then later I extended to English as well. And then you can search, like, you can find from Sanghamitra, actually, the spelling you need to see. If you don't have H here, I think there is another site, Sanghamitra. Of course, they are also doing nice, wonderful work on their side. So I don't mind if you go there, but this is the site actually you can think about. And then you have some magazines like, archived there. So I actually worked for 7 years on that particular magazine. Every quarter I used to bring up a new version. And then I posted so many articles in there from different resources as well as mine as well. So yeah, I think if you get some opportunity, you can go through it. But it's not, I didn't provide like a colorful and attractive like that. This is very simple and easy way, like what I could do at that point of time. And
Big
then
question they are asking, Srinivas. The
what?
club you are talking about, is there anybody can join to the club, or is there some membership is required for that club?
No membership, nothing. Actually, I say Sanghamitra means I think everyone can be part of Sanghamitra. They need not actually approach me. They need not actually contribute anything for that, but they can contribute to in their own community, like feeding people, or they can share their knowledge with others in that community, and whatever they can do, yeah, in their what do you call, like whatever they have access, they can share it with others. That is the idea. So if they want to communicate with me, they can do that. But actually, I'm not having any group or anything like that so far. But maybe down the line, I might do that, but I'm not sure. But everyone can take responsibility and they can do in their own community. That's what I think. I many times actually offered, Vedic Math Teachers Training Program for free. Even if someone is interested, they can learn and they can teach in their community. But I think I see very, the response is very, uh, very less actually, like I hardly see 3-4 people responding to that. For 3-4 people, I mean, if I need to spend that much time, sometimes I feel it's not appropriate. At least, I mean, if I have 10 members interested to learn these techniques and share it with others, that is a really good number. At least 10 members enough. If any one of you are interested, you can just communicate either to Satish ji or me. Probably I can, share the knowledge, whatever I know. And another thing I wanted to say, like many people who ever attend Vedic math sessions, they ask me, like, how many sessions do you think they can complete Vedic math? So far, I mean, to my knowledge, no one knows 100% about Vedic mathematics. I can tell if someone claims that they know Vedic math, 100%, then they are lying. I can tell that. Because in UK and other areas, they are researching on each one of the sutra and how they can extend it to different areas. And still, in India, Hyderabad, there is one organization where they're studying all Vedic scriptures. Some Sanskrit professors also helping them to understand each and every sutra and how they can use it in different areas. So lots of research is going on worldwide. So, I mean, completely learning is actually out of scope anyway. But at least if we can spend some time and learn something, um, initially, I mean, you need to start. That's all. Once you practice sometime, I think thoughts will automatically come. And as I said earlier, like, it's underlying current. So not only in mathematics, but in other areas also you excel. This is what I can tell from my own experience. So it may look, like exaggeration or something like that. But even I thought the same way in the beginning. But now I know the significance of it. So it totally changes your thought of, like the thought process. And I think many of you know, like we have two parts of our brain, left side of the brain and right side of the brain. One is actually very, left side is always, logical thinking and all. But right side of the brain, we rarely use it. That is actually artistic, for, creative mind, which really, gives lots of energy and lots of resources for us. So if you take any artist or any singer, all these people supposed to have some creative mind. So they mostly use right side of the brain, but their logic might be a little low comparatively. And some people actually they're very good at logic, but they cannot do any artwork or any creative work like that. They can tell any type of formula, any kind of statistical data. They can analyze and tell things. That is logical mind. So if you can balance both, then you can do wonders. That's what I can say. But that concept, I think, very few people can adapt it and practice it. So yeah, but I think initial thing is like, the practice is more important, which I can say. And coming to the next thing, Mathavadanam is another program we usually organize with the Vedic Math summer program students. So this is kind of presentation. I'm going to show that maybe in another session. Today we don't have much time. So this is where actually, if you find the fifth power of a number, like, if you select 74, find the fifth power of 74. 74 times 74 times 74 times 74 times 74. Whatever you get, just give that number. I can tell you what number you choose. Just within 1 minute time. Within 1 minute time. Okay. So this kind of things actually, I used to do get it done by my students. And then some of them are very good. Even they can compete with me as well. I feel proud of it. So sometimes, I do learn from my students as well. Like, they come up with new ideas, and because that is their creative mind actually is getting developed at that age. But in my case, actually, till degree, masters, and only in 2004 I started learning about Vedic math. Prior to that, I never actually practiced it. So at this age, actually, whatever I'm doing, I think I'm satisfied. But I can do much more than what I'm doing currently. So the Madhavadana, actually, we solve that kind of problems in presence of audience. Audience ask questions, and at the moment. So the students may not know, but they answer it within 1 minute time without using any any calculating aid with them. So audience, and naturally they get surprised how they did it. And then people started coming to my sessions, and then some of them actually they drop because they think it may be too much. It depends basically, how people think about it. But most of the time I say, like, come with open mind. And anyway, I'm providing free sessions, so naturally you can absorb something at least. And then even if you don't get it, 1 hour or 1.5 hour time is not waste of time. Because if you watch a movie, at least you spend 2.5 hours. I think it's much better than watching a movie, I guess. So that is what I feel. And then coming to the other thing, I was about to tell about Kartik month, right? So this is basically, our Vedic scriptures, they say at least 10% of our earnings, we're supposed to spend it to the community. That is one of the things actually given in our scriptures and all. So you need not do much about it, but I mean, initially you can start with 2% or 1%, that's fine. But something, I mean, giving back to the community, that's what actually, makes lots of sense, because community is giving opportunity for us to earn. And then again, we are spending back in the community. Even in business model today, they say like, if you spend more money, I think the market is going to go up, and again, you are going to get more returns and things like that. So that is actually, the money should not be actually, stagnated at one point. It should be flowing all the time. So that is the reason probably they might have told that. But at the same time, I want to say, like, if you donate $1, if you donate $1 to any community or any organization, I don't say, give it to this organization or that organization, but uh, I mean, wherever you want to spare. If you donate $1, I'm sure like you're going to get $10 in return. But don't expect $10 and donate. That's what actually I sincerely ask you to do. Okay, don't expect anything in return. Just do it wholeheartedly. That really helps. Okay, now coming to the other things. I conducted so many seminars, and I know how to use Vedic math in schools and different colleges, universities, and different areas. And then of course we get some positive feedback, some negative feedback, everything. But I take everything positive. Like, we should learn from those things. And then Sangamitra, actually, whatever during the summer program I take as fee. Initially, I used to share it for free, but later point of time, the parents came forward, and they used to say like, you're spending so much of time and so much of material and all that, so you're not charging anything. So we wanted to give some amount, and then they started giving that way. And then some of them, they say like, you're charging very less. I think you deserve so much. And then they used to give more. And then recently, someone advised me like, don't tell it for free, because the value is lost there. So take the amount and uh, I mean, like, donate it for some non-profit organizations. That's what we have been doing since maybe 2007 onwards. Whatever amount we are collecting for Vedic math sessions, summer sessions, it's very nominal fee, of course. I charge $100 for 8 sessions, 8 hours. So which is very, very nominal, but still, I mean, yeah, I sometimes I know they don't pay also, that's okay. As long as they're learning sincerely, I just provide that knowledge. But whatever amount we are getting, we are donating for different organizations, and then we are supporting some senior citizens back in India. And then we are providing clothes, books, and other things for some students. Because I don't want to put figures and say like, so many, but sometimes, my mother-in-law and some elders, they used to say like, in our scriptures and all, they say like, if you donate with your right hand, your left hand should not know that. So that is the thing. But nowadays, I think I heard from many elders saying like, if you tell that, many people may get inspired and they can also do the same thing. So that's why actually I'm disclosing certain things. Sometimes I match from my earnings, whatever amount I get during summer program, and I donate it for different organizations. Last year itself, I think we donated more than $6,000. Um, I don't remember exact thing, but yeah, something like that. And then sometimes it exceeds that amount as well. But so I never count it. Basically, most of the time my wife will take care of donating all those things, and some of them actually even I don't count, and it's not there in my records. Okay, so this is how it goes. and then conducting meditation sessions, and then stress management sessions. All these things actually they came up in the recent past, and I used to share this not only mathematics but some ethics. Nowadays, I think many students they're learning in schools like always competing with others, and then they wanted to be on the top. They wanted to be number one, which may not be a good idea. So, I mean, we have that spardha is one way is good as long as it's not hurting our inner space or other person's inner space. That is more important. While learning, if you are growing, that's good. But suppressing the other person and growing, that is not a good idea. So that is what actually we are seeing in many places. Like whatever they know, they always try to keep it with them. They don't want to share it with others, but they wanted to learn from others to achieve better results and all, even in workplaces and other places. So I usually share this kind of information here and there. So just I wanted to give a little bit here. I means actually I'm not telling this physical body, but the energy whatever I'm getting from the universe. Just I'm sharing it with others. So this is what I wanted to say. I actually contributed in such size spiritual education and some adult program education programs and various places actually whenever they need some mathematics related help or any ethical related. Some people actually they're very good and some students I see like they're very good knowledge point of view, but because of the society, the community, the peer pressure and all, they're not achieving the good results. So for that kind of students actually when they come to me, first actually I treat them like getting their inner strength, understanding their inner strength and behave that way. Whatever the people might say about that person, it really doesn't matter, but they can achieve good results. So these kind of things actually I'm blessed to have such kind of students, and I feel happy to help such kind of people, students. Okay, this is a fun thing I wanted to share with everyone. Uh, this is the scenario right now we're seeing, like, kids are more used to electronic items, and then they're not actually physically playing outside, which is a very bad thing. But physical activity is very much needed for any kid. So encourage your kids to at least play for some time every day. That helps, achieve good results. And then the strength, the inner strength. Nowadays, I think they are getting depressed for each and everything, which is not good, because when they start playing outside, they may get hurt here and there, and they know how to handle that kind of things, so they don't get depressed for silly things. Okay, so that is one thing, and this is about the brain, how our brain works, and how it fills voids, and then make a reasonable picture. If you see this picture, I think some people can see front view, some people can see side view. Okay, so I mean, of course, I told this, if you keenly observe, you can see both. So yeah, if a person is using both left and right side of the brain, naturally you can see both images in that right away. So there's so many images. I mean, I show all these things in my summer program, and then I tell something about their, how our mind works, and how we can, train it to do better things and all that. Okay, next, coming to this is another question usually I post, and okay, these are the kind of questions. Probably I can share anyway, when I share this PowerPoint, naturally you can see these questions and you can try to solve. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. My email ID is given there. Yeah, now this question I gave yesterday. This one probably I think we are running out of time, so I can send you a message or some document explaining that, because this requires some knowledge. digit sum, how to do digit sum and get the value. If we know that, this solution is very, very simple. But other than that, if you use calculator, it won't give you the whole number. You get exponential form, like it gives 1.8446 times 10 power so on. So like, so I mean, you cannot get the value like that. And if you want to multiply 2 power 64, if you want to get the value, I think it you know how much time it takes. So I don't suggest that. But yeah, I can send you the solution after this. I think that's these are the things actually I told, like, you know, if you take the number 7744, what is the square root of it? You know, the kids used to tell, you know, within 30 seconds or 40 seconds. Okay, if you check, it's 88. If you check, it's 88. 88. Okay, if you take the other one, 2304, 2304. So that is 48, 48 square. And then 7,225, this one you can tell yourself because it's ending with 25, right? So the square root also ends with 5. Square root ends with 5. That part we know. And then 72, you need to split it into product of 8 times 9. 8 times 9, we learned Agadikena Purvena, right? So this is 8 times 9. So 85 square, this is 85 square. You can tell without doing any work there. 85 square. Like that, I mean, for all these things, you can tell answer like that if you know the techniques. Okay, let's see in another session. I know if time permits, we can have another session where you can ask questions and I can answer the next moment. Probably I can include some of my students. They can do much better job. Okay, these are the topics actually, you know, I thought of explaining today, and not explaining, but answering. Some of them are like, you know, if you give date, month, and year, I can tell the day of the month from year 1900 to 2099. Any year you can choose, and you can give that. And the other one is like, you know, finding square roots I showed you, and then finding square of a number from 0 to 100 or 1 to 100, whatever. Suppose if you say 52 square, 52 square, if you want, I can tell right away. It's 2,704. You can try it. Okay, like that, I mean, we can answer those things. Not only me, if I can do that, why can't you? That is the motivation for this session. You know, if I can do it, why can't you? You can do it. You can also do it. So that is the confidence I wanted to give, rather than saying, you know, I'm great, I can do things. I don't want to boast that. It's a waste of time. But you know, because of the practice, I could able to do certain things which I wanted to share with others, and I wanted to bring confidence in each and every student. So that is the motivation behind this. And then similarly, as I told,
somebody
like,
asking questions, Srinivas.
Yeah.
Somebody asking question. 26th November 2009 will be which day? Sevita is asking.
26th November
2009.
2009. Okay. Okay, it's Friday.
Is it right?
Oh, sorry. It's not Friday. It's not Friday. Sorry, it's Thursday. It's Thursday.
One more question for you. 16th
correct?
December, 16th December 2007. Yeah, it's correct. Thursday is right.
Yeah.
16th December 2007. They are asking.
So what date?
16th December
16th. Okay.
2007.
Okay. Okay, it's Sunday.
Is that right?
Sunday.
Okay, people are all putting so many numbers, but I think we just want to do yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir,
okay,
right.
yeah, we can do another session maybe if they are
Yeah.
interested. Yeah, I know this is very interesting topic
See,
for
if
many.
you are all interested, this is what I'm planning. I was just, getting a thought right now. Maybe in the December, in the holidays, when we have a Christmas holidays, at that time we can do one session or two, just to as a sequel for it, and we'll get the registrations again from you, and we can do that. Okay, I think we are running out of time now, but I request everybody to do the poll so that you can write your comments and feedback on that. I know this mathematics is not like other lectures where you just put a slide and then finish up the class as we plan for it, because then I also need to take care of the doubts and also give more examples. So that takes away some extra time on it. As some of you are requesting, we will also try to send you the audio recording too, possible, and the slides will be posted. So here I am going to send you the link right now, but in that link you have to wait for some time to see the files. So I'm openly sending the link right now to everybody. The link is very easy for you to remember. I'm just posting it here. So it's tiny.cc/vmnote5. That's a link where we are going to see the slides and also the audio material, everything. This is for you all to get the notes and slides, everything over there. Don't click now. If you click now, there you will find a couple of pages there, but you won't find the slides. So wait for an hour or two, then our Srinivas will post it. So that's a link. Whatever we are going to share it from the last 2 days of session, we are going to put it there. tiny.cc/vmnote5. Instead of writing VM notes, we change the S letter to 5. Okay? Did everybody get it? Can I see a couple of thumbs ups? Okay, Riddhi has got some. Riddhi is asking something. Why you are putting down? Riddhi? Okay, please share what you want to talk.
Can you repeat the link? I didn't get that.
Okay, it's tiny.cc, tiny, T-I-N-Y, tiny.cc, Charlie, /VM, like Vedic math, note, NOTE, number 5. I posted in the chat also.
I don't see it in the chat.
Once again, I'm posting it second time. Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
post it to everybody. Okay. Did you see it, Nana? Ready? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I'll open the line for everybody, so that if you wanted to just say a couple of lines to our teacher, Mr. Srinivas, you can talk to a couple of you can talk to him and say whatever you wanted to convey. I opened the lines. You can unmute and then talk. We'll be closing it in a couple of minutes. Before that, before you all talk, I wanted to personally say very, very big thank you to Srinivas. You have a lot of knowledge to share, but we squeezed it in short. So it's like, showing a 3-hour movie in 1 hour. That's how it's happened now. And as if all things work well, we'll certainly wanted to go with the Christmas holidays, one session or 2 sessions for the kids to learn some more. And it was very informative. And some people, maybe the kids may feel a little bit more overwhelming because of the material of algebra. But we wanted to show you and make you understand about what our scriptures meant. Our scriptures are so powerful. Okay, never forget the roots. That's what we say. If I like the flower, if you put the water on the flower, flower will never grow. You all know it, right? But you need to protect the roots, you need to water the roots. So roots are our scriptures. Our roots are our Vedic knowledge. So that's what I wanted to show you. In Vedic knowledge, it is so vast. Just tell you one simple example. We all know about the distance between sun and earth as 93 million miles. That one we came to know just 50 years ago when, or maybe a little more than 50 years ago, when Galileo found out the telescope and then they did some, mathematical calculation and found it out. But our scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, has given this knowledge 5,000 years ago without having any of the telescope. So who has got the more power? Our scriptures have more power, more knowledge about everything. Okay. Today, even by the baby delivery, people do the ultrasound and tell you what the position of the baby is, what the size of the baby is. But our Bhagavatam says how the baby will be in every month. They had no technology of ultrasound, which we are seeing today. So understand that Atharva Veda has the Vedic mathematics, and the Vedic mathematics has 16 sutras. We put the sutras PDF in the link as well. We'll share with you all. So we all need to hold on to the roots. We all need to protect the roots, protect the scriptures, respect the scriptures, learn the scriptures. Then you will be most intelligent and brilliant person in the world. Wherever you go, our culture will protect you. Our culture will take you to the next level. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. This is Sujata. I am HM of Ekalavya School.
Okay. Thank you.
Very interesting session, sir. Actually, I am a biology teacher. I love maths. So yesterday's class session and today's session I attended, but I am losing in between. Some gaps are there. Actually, I want to take training in this. I'm interested.
Sure. Please send the email.
I'm 54 now, but my passion is teaching. I love maths.
Okay, good.
Depend.
I'm also interesting to take the class.
Sure. మీరు మెయిల్ పంపించండి, అందరినీ కూడా గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని చేస్తున్నారు అది తప్పనిసరిగా.
చేశాను.
Sure.
Now I want to take the class.
Sure.
Thank you, Srinivas sir. The session was quite useful and a lot of techniques we were able to learn. And thanks for Satish sir in coordinating this, and this will help kids a lot to practice and then help in their academics as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Uncle.
Please mute yourself if you are not talking. Yeah, Maitra.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity for these 2 days, and I would like to learn more of this Vedic math in Christmas break or whenever it's conducted. Thank you, Satish, Uncle.
Sure, Nana.
Thank you.
Hi sir, this is Purna, Sanjana's father. So it's very nice tricks to learn. So I'm also one of the one, I grown up learning maths, and right now I'm a software engineer. So your tricks are so nice, and logics are really good actually. Thank you so much for your both sessions, and I'm very interested to my daughter to learn all these things, and
make sure. I wanted to say one thing here, when you are teaching elementary kids, you should be very careful, because if they apply these rules and answer in school homework and all, they might get some problem. The teachers may not understand what they're doing, and then they're telling the answers. Some of them they recognize and ask them, how did you do that? Can you explain? But some teachers they're simply look for the work, and if they don't see any work, probably they might not give good grade for them. So make sure, I think, your kid understands they need to follow their school rules rather than solving the problem. Okay. Yeah, that's one important thing I wanted to say.
Sure sir, definitely. Thank you so much, sir.
Not a problem. You're always welcome.
Thank you for teaching me this Vedic mathematics. it's very useful, especially like these short ways that మనం వాడితే అంత కాంపిటీషన్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ చాలా యూస్ఫుల్ అవుతుంది. సో I'm very thankful for this Vedic mathematics. ఇంకా క్రిస్మస్ టైం అంతా వచ్చినప్పుడు I'll be more than happy to learn.
Sure, Nana. Sure, Siddharth.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for teaching this. I probably like learned more in this class, in this sessions, than I did in like school sessions or like.
Okay, that's a nice compliment.
Yes, you made us day.
I'd like to join the December sessions.
Sure.
So I just want to say something. I just want to say thank you. It was really, really, really nice. For the first time in my life, I realized how to connect algebra to regular multiplication.
Yes. But I would say I want you to add it this way, like, the algebra, what we are learning today is not there when the Vedic time, but the Vedic math is giving the solution for these problems.
Exactly.
So the richness is in the Vedic scriptures, right?
They have, it's already there, and it's really, really commendable. I think it's a really great thing. I wish we can do this more often, and we can kind of expand it as much as possible. I don't know what I can do to make it happen, but I will be more than happy and willing to do that.
Sure, we'll try to do whatever we can.
Thank you.
So before the people are all dropping out, we just want to do the prayer, and then you all can send the messages to me to satish@pravachanam.com or Srinivas Ainapurapu. I sent you both emails in the general chat. Om Agnena Yasupataraye Asman Viswani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmatyuhuranamenah Bhuishthante Namavuktim Vidhema. Om Purnamidam Purnamadah Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Namah Paramarushibhyo Namah Paramarushibhyah. Om Namah Paramarushibhyo Namah Paramarushibhyah. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namah. Yes, Narayan.